This cat was returned to the shelter again and again. A DNA test revealed why. The cat destroyed another door last night. His sixth family just returned him. Nobody can figure out what is wrong with him. He's aggressive, the first family said, scratches everything in sight, paces for hours without stopping, never sleeps through the night. We tried absolutely everything we could think of. The second family barely lasted 3 weeks. He attacks the windows like something's chasing him, howls at night until we can't sleep. There's something seriously wrong with this cat. We just can't keep him anymore. Family number 3 had a bigger apartment, more toys than any cat could want, endless attention and patience. Nothing helps at all, they told the shelter. Every single day he tries to escape. He's completely miserable here with us. The shelter staff decided to name him Ranger, a beautiful gray tabby with stunning amber eyes. But those eyes held something unsettling, something desperate that nobody could quite understand. Ranger came from absolutely nowhere. No microchip existed anywhere in his body. No records showed up in any database. No previous owner ever came forward looking for him. Someone just found him wandering outside one day, alone, frightened beyond measure, completely lost. He's been here 8 months now, Director Jessica Davis told her exhausted staff. 6 different families have returned him to us, 6 complete failures. We desperately need some kind of answer here. In his kennel, Ranger paced without stopping, back and forth endlessly. He never settled down, never seemed comfortable for one single moment. The other cats slept peacefully in their kennels, purred loudly when people approached them. Other cats learned to adapt to shelter life eventually. Not Ranger, though. He reacted badly to any closed space. Clawed frantically at every single door, searched desperately and constantly for any possible exit. His bizarre behavior puzzled absolutely everyone who met him. Maybe he's just completely feral, suggested volunteer Andrew Brown one afternoon. Some cats simply can't be domesticated no matter what. Feral cats hide from people, Jessica replied quietly. They avoid all human contact entirely. Ranger doesn't avoid people at all. He just ignores them completely. Family number 4 returned him after just 1 week. He's absolutely obsessed with leaving our house, damaged our screen door beyond repair, knocked over furniture trying desperately to reach windows. We're so sorry. We really can't help him anymore. Family 5 somehow lasted 10 days. They even built him a beautiful outdoor enclosure, gave him total freedom, plenty of space, fresh air, and sunshine. He still tried constantly to escape, they reported sadly. Dug under the fence with his claws, climbed the walls like he was possessed. Nothing we did ever satisfied him. The 6th family absolutely broke Jessica's heart. They were genuinely perfect for difficult cases, patient beyond belief, understanding, and experienced with troubled cats. They kept Ranger for 2 full months of trying. "We love him so much," the wife said through heavy tears. "But he's suffering every single day with us, cries every single night without stopping, throws himself violently at doors. He's actually hurting himself trying to escape constantly. Keeping him here feels genuinely cruel now." Jessica sat alone in her office that evening, stared down at Ranger's thick file. 8 months of complete failure. 6 heartbroken families who really tried. 1 desperately unhappy cat going nowhere. Tomorrow, she had a meeting scheduled with the shelter board about Ranger's future, about what happens to animals nobody can help. The word hung in the air, unspoken, unbearable. Euthanasia. "No," Jessica whispered to the empty room. "Not yet. There has to be an answer somewhere." She made a decision right then. Time to bring in a real expert. Dr. Evelyn Park specialized in difficult animal behavior cases. She had 30 years of hard experience, worked successfully with aggressive dogs, traumatized horses, disturbed wildlife released back to nature. If anyone could possibly help Ranger, she could. Dr. Park arrived early Tuesday morning. She observed Ranger carefully for 3 solid hours, took detailed notes constantly, asked thoughtful questions, watched his patterns with experienced eyes. "His behavior is remarkably consistent," she said finally. "He's not actually aggressive toward people at all. He's not afraid of people either. He simply doesn't care about people whatsoever." "What does that mean?" Jessica asked desperately. "It means people aren't what he wants here. He wants something else entirely. Something very specific to him." "What, though?" "I honestly don't know yet, but his sheer determination suggests something incredibly important, something worth months of terrible suffering." Dr. Park studied the notes for a long moment. "Behavioral issues don't come from nowhere," she said. "We can't map them directly to DNA, but genetics can sometimes show patterns, gaps, missing context, origin. The DNA test would cost $200. The shelter budget was already painfully tight this month, but Jessica approved it without hesitation. "We need real answers," she said firmly. "Ranger deserves answers before we give up." Before we continue with the shocking discovery that changed absolutely everything, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. What they found explained everything. The laboratory received Ranger's DNA sample on Wednesday afternoon. Results would take 10 business days minimum. Jessica marked her calendar carefully, waited anxiously, hoped desperately for something useful. Meanwhile, Ranger continued his endless pacing, his desperate searching every waking moment, his absolutely heartbreaking vigil for something invisible. Volunteer, Rachel started spending extra time near his kennel. "What are you looking for, buddy?" she whispered one quiet evening, watched him circle the small space relentlessly. "What are you trying so hard to find?" Ranger paused briefly, looked at her with those haunting amber eyes. For one fleeting moment, Rachel saw something beyond simple desperation. Then he resumed pacing immediately. The shelter board meeting happened on Friday. Jessica presented Ranger's entire case history, 8 months of documentation, 6 failed adoptions, thousands of dollars spent on care. "We can't keep investing resources in unadoptable animals," Board President Thomas Wilson said bluntly. "You know our policy on these situations." "I know the policy perfectly," Jessica replied, "but I've ordered genetic testing. Results come back next week. Just give me until then, please." "And if the test shows nothing useful?" Jessica couldn't answer that honestly. The silence said everything. "1 week," Wilson agreed reluctantly. "Then we reconvene and make final decisions." Jessica left that meeting feeling sick. 1 week, 7 days to find a miracle. Or Ranger would be put down. She told Andrew and Rachel that evening. Both volunteers looked devastated. "That's not fair to him," Rachel said angrily. "He's not mean or dangerous. He's just looking for something." "I know that," Jessica said quietly. "But the board looks at numbers, at resources, at animals we could help instead." "So we just give up?" Andrew asked. "No. We pray this DNA test shows us something, anything at all." The next 7 days crawled by. Jessica checked her email constantly throughout each day, refreshed her inbox obsessively, waited for news that might save a life. Rachel started a petition online. "Save Ranger. Don't euthanize this misunderstood cat." It got 3,000 signatures in 4 days. She presented them to Jessica hopefully. "It helps," Jessica said, "but the board wants solutions, not sympathy." On day 8, nothing arrived. Day 9 brought crushing silence. Day 10 felt hopeless. Then, on day 11, the email finally arrived. Subject line, Genetic Analysis Results, Ranger. Jessica's hands literally shook opening it. She read the first paragraph quickly. Her eyes went wide. "Oh my God," she breathed. The results showed absolutely no genetic abnormalities, no inherited diseases whatsoever, no medical explanation for his behavior at all, but they showed something else completely, something totally unexpected, something that changed absolutely everything overnight. The laboratory had found a genetic match. Another cat's DNA in their database matched Ranger's profile significantly. Not perfectly or completely, but substantially, undeniably. The report used one specific term that made Jessica's heart race. Likely littermates. The matched cat had been tested several years earlier during routine screening for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy specifically, a hereditary heart condition. The laboratory provided contact information helpfully. A veterinary clinic in Meadowbrook, 40 miles away exactly. Dr. Richard Nakamura's practice. Jessica called immediately. Her hands still trembled holding the phone. She explained everything quickly. The shelter cat, the terrible behavioral issues, the DNA match, the littermate connection. Dr. Nakamura went completely silent for a long moment. "I need to check my old records carefully. Can I call you back shortly?" "Of course, but this is extremely urgent. Please call very soon." 18 minutes later, her phone rang. "I found the file," Dr. Nakamura said. His voice sounded strange, almost strained. "The genetic test was for clients named Robert and Diana Brown. They bred British Shorthairs as a small hobby. One of their females had a litter. We tested all the kittens for HCM. How many kittens total? 4 in that litter. They kept 2, sold 1 locally, and 1 went missing." Jessica's heart literally stopped. "Missing? When did this happen exactly?" 3 years ago. "Are the Browns still in the area?" Jessica asked urgently. "Same address, same phone number. Would you like me to contact them?" "Yes, please. Tell them we might have found their missing kitten." "I'll call them right this moment." Jessica hung up, walked quickly to Ranger's kennel. The gray tabby was pacing again endlessly. Always pacing, always searching for something. "I think I know where you belong," she whispered softly. "I think I know what you've been looking for." Ranger stopped immediately, looked directly at her. Those amber eyes held such desperate hope. Jessica's phone rang. Dr. Nakamura again. "I spoke with Diana Brown. She actually cried when I told her. They want to see him immediately. They're driving over right now." "Now? Today?" "They left 5 minutes ago. They'll arrive in about 40 minutes. Jessica's mind raced ahead. This might not work at all. 35 minutes later, a car pulled into the shelter parking lot. Jessica watched from the window nervously. A middle-aged couple stepped out quickly. The woman clutched a photo album tightly. The man carried a small blanket. Jessica met them at the door. Diana Brown's eyes were already red from crying. "Where is he?" she asked immediately. "Can we please see him?" "Of course, but I need to prepare you both. He might not remember anything. He was very young when he left." "I understand completely," Diana said, "but we have to try." Jessica led them to the kennel area. Ranger was pacing as usual, back and forth endlessly. Then he saw them. He stopped mid-step. His entire body went completely rigid. Diana gasped loudly. "That's him. That's our Jasper. I would know him absolutely anywhere." Ranger stared at the couple. His amber eyes locked onto Diana's face. Something flickered in those eyes. Recognition? Memory? Hope? "Can we take him out?" Robert asked quietly. "Let him approach us naturally?" Jessica opened the kennel door very carefully. Ranger didn't bolt, didn't try to escape. He walked out slowly. His eyes never left Diana and Robert. Then he did something he'd never done at the shelter. Something 6 families never witnessed. Something that made Jessica's eyes fill instantly with tears. He walked directly to Diana, sat at her feet, and meowed. Once, softly, questioningly. Diana knelt down immediately, extended her hand. "Jasper? Baby? Is that really you?" Ranger sniffed her hand carefully, then her face. Then he pressed his head firmly against her palm, began purring. Robert knelt beside his wife, unfolded the blanket he'd carried. This was from his nest, when he was a kitten. We kept it all these years. He held the blanket toward Ranger. The cat buried his face deep in the fabric, inhaled deeply. His purring intensified dramatically. His entire body relaxed completely. For the first time in 8 months, he looked genuinely peaceful. "We need to take him home right now," Diana said through tears. "There's someone he needs to see urgently." "Who?" Jessica asked. "His brother, Felix. They were completely inseparable as kittens." The pieces clicked into place. Ranger wasn't just searching for a home. He was searching for his brother, for his family. The bond between littermates. The connection formed in those first precious weeks of life. They brought him home that very day. Felix was waiting. The reunion was instant and overwhelming. Both brothers recognized each other immediately and completely, and just like that, Ranger stopped pacing forever, stopped searching, stopped suffering. He'd finally found what he'd been looking for. Sometimes the problem isn't the animal. Sometimes they're not failing to adapt. Sometimes they're just trying to get back to where they belong. And once they do, everything broken becomes whole again. Thank you for watching this incredible true story. If it touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear that love always finds a way home.